Hey, what's up? My name is Jam, and I'm here to review the Mommy Club. This is episode 7. Yeah, episode 7. It felt like a filler episode, to be honest, but it's okay. It's okay. It wasn't like interesting, but it wasn't bad, kabisa. So it's fine. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Support a bitch.
Support me, bitch.
Shout out to one of my subscribers, Margaret Chandia. Thank you for the love. And I love that we're usually on the same page with some of these ladies. So we see each other. And I hope I said your name correctly. If I haven't, I'm sorry. So it started off at Nunurai's place. So Nunurai is FaceTiming her friend Vanna. And Nunurai wants to tell about the xenophobic comments that Omule, that actress, made about there is no satellite in Harare and Bulawayo. Vanna was pissed. Nunurai's friend, she was really pissed. She's also from Zimbabwe. She was really pissed. And she was like, where can you watch her shows? Is it on Mnet? Is it on any international station? I think Vanna and Nunurai had already talked. Because when they were mentioning apparently the show, Omole's show is on SABC1. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know SABC1. I don't know that station. So yeah, it's on SA. I probably have seen it, but I've never watched anything. Maybe. So Vanna was like, who watches SABC1? And Nunurai was like, yeah, I have never even watched SABC1 or SABC. Because if there's a one, there's a zero, right? Like there's an original. Like I've never even watched SABC1. So Omule is saying that I'm a fan. A fan of what? I don't even know which station you're at. Vanna said she's just famous in her village. Sorry, that made me laugh. When Vanna said, just tell her she's just famous in her village, Vanna was dogging her out. Vanna was pissed because she said, as Zimbabweans, we live better than some of the South Africans. And when she said that, Nunurai said, yeah, because Nunurai switched to her language, to her country's language. I don't know her country's language name, that one. She switched and she was like, these women get small jobs. Now she's talking about Omole, okay? These women get small jobs. They get small money. They buy one small Gucci bag. And they think they've made it in life. I was like, huh? And you remember, Nunurai comes from a rich place. So someone like Omule trying to talk down on her, she looks at you like, bitch, I've lived better than you my whole life. You just started living this life. Calling yourself a celebrity. Like, we know Akoni Ferguson, we know Adineo. I'm saying those are right now on my head because I'm watching The Queen. But we know them. We don't know you. Bakoni since the generations. Like, we don't know you, Omule. You're not known like that outside your village. Then I was pissed. We don't know you outside your village. So, yeah, Nunurai had every right. Vanna had every right to say whatever they wanted to say. Nunurai said that Omole had bragged that she has 1 million followers. And then Nunurai said that she knows women with a big ass and a pretty face who are sitting on 3 million followers. So what are you? And I hate the topic of followers. I really hate the topic of followers. And it was the topic this whole episode. I really hate the topic of, oh, I have this many followers. Oh, my video strength. Oh, it was the topic, but we'll get to it. But yeah, that was Nunurai and Vanna. I love that they dogged Omule out. I know Omule was watching that thing. Like, oh my God. These guys are saying I'm famous in my village. I know she was pissed. But yeah, that was that scene. The next scene was Happy invited. Yeah, this is the one I'm telling you about the trending thing. Happy invited Ratile for a walk. So Ratile came in dressed in a leather skirt. I think it was a top and a skirt, and it looked super hot. Even Happy was like, it's hot. Why are you wearing a leather outfit? Well, our dear Ratile said the new age moms, this is how we dress. Because at first apparently they were supposed to walk their dogs, and then Happy changed her mind. If I'm going out for a walk, that's not what I'm wearing, to be honest. But hey, Ratile, it's okay. She was still looking fire. She was looking nice. So Happy started like, hey, at the event you just left, what was wrong? And Ratile explained, she's like, if Mrs. Mops and Omule are the guests, are the host, sorry, and you're attacking the guests, I feel uncomfortable, so that's why I left. It makes sense in life, but they're doing a TV show. Mrs. Mops has to start something for that scene to be interesting. So you have to remember, this is also a job. So yes, as friends, you're my host, you should be polite and not start something or just wanting drama 24/7. Because Mrs. Moss is very good at that. She's very good at starting. So I get what Ratile was saying, but again, Ratile, this is a show. There has to be a scene. So yeah. Happy said, oh, okay, because I thought you were running from the cloud chasing, from the question that I was asking. And Ratile was like, running? Why would I be running? I explained to you already what I meant. And then Ratile asked, did you talk to Mrs. Mops? Happy acted like she didn't talk to Mrs. Mops. So Happy was like, listen, why are you calling me a cloud chaser? Why are you saying these things? And Ratile explained, listen, Happy, you tell me something. You tell me it's a secret. You tell me not to tell anybody. But when I go sit down with the other women, the other ladies know this story. So I'm like, who haven't you told? And then the next thing, it's all over social media. And it's trending. So I'm wondering, you come to me as a friend. This is what I say. This is what I was actually on Ratile's side. I feel like they just don't want to understand what Ratile is saying. Ratile is just saying this. You are my friend. You come and confide in me and tell me a secret. And then you tell me, please don't tell nobody. I don't want this out and all this thing. Because that's what you did with the engagement. Because apparently everybody knew about the engagement. That's what you did about this Tabo Bester thing. So you told Ratile, this Tabo Bester thing is a secret. You sent her videos and you told her every little thing that you told the blogs. And then you told the same story to Mrs. Mops, because even Mrs. Mops said yes, she did tell me. And then maybe we told the same story to Akina, Nunurai, and Miss Manchi. So for me as your friend, I'm thinking I'm gonna keep this secret. I don't want to break that trust. But after a few days, I'm seeing it on the blogs, and then the blogs say a friend leaked it. My first instinct would be like, I have to call this girl and tell her I'm not the one who leaked it. So I understood what Ratile was trying to say. Happy doesn't want to understand it. Happy is like, I have many followers. Anything I say or anything I post will trend. Just because yours doesn't trend. And Ratile kept saying, that's not what I mean. I don't have a problem with you posting. Because she's like, if you don't want me to post, I'm not going to post. I'm not going to post anymore, Ratile, to make you feel happy, to make you feel secure. Because now Happy's twisting is saying that Ratile wants her life. No, Ratile doesn't want that kind of life. Ratile is not someone who loves attention seeking. She's not. And I think that's the word Ratile would have used instead of cloud chasing. Because now in the confession, even Ratile was saying, I'm not an attention seeker. Because it got to a point Happy is telling her, oh, I have many for. No, first she told her, I think Ratile, you wanted me to die. Because I was a victim of Tabo Bester and you don't want me to say this story. And that's not what Ratile is saying. Ratile is just saying, you told me this story and acted like it was not supposed to come out. It was a secret. But the next thing, it's out. I don't want a friend like that. Plain and simple. Because how do I know if I tell you something and it probably will trend? How do I know you will not run to the blogs? And then the next thing, you make sure you post it and say, oh my God, I knew, so that you trend. And that's something I didn't want out. As a friend, I understood what Ratile was saying. So Happy saying that, oh, you just wanted me to die. Ratile said, that's not what I want. That's not what I wanted. And then she said, oh, so you're just mad because I have more followers than you. And like sometimes Happy talks like a child. Sometimes Happy talks like a child. Happy is delusional sometimes. She really is. So I was completely on I was on Ratile's side. So Happy told her, just apologize and stop defending yourself. Ratile apologized because she said, I can see the table bester is kind of, hitting you. So I apologize for that. But I'm also talking about in general. It wasn't only the table bester thing. I'm talking about in general. You tell us something, you tell me it's a secret, the next thing is on the blogs. But Happy did not want to listen, and Ratile said, you'll never understand where I'm coming from. You just don't want to get what I'm saying. Anyway, Ratile apologized. Happy said that she's 60% okay. She doesn't want to leave here saying they're cool and they're not cool, which is fine. I prefer that than telling me we're cool and then the next thing you're talking about me. And then she called Ratile rude. Do I think Ratile is rude? I think Ratile is blunt. I really think Ratile is blunt. I don't hate Ratile the way I've seen people online are hating on her. I don't hate Ratile like that. I think Ratile is just blunt. Like, she'll just tell you as it is. She won't lie. She won't sugarcoat things. So I think Ratile is just blunt. I don't think she's rude. And Ratile said, Wilson, I don't want to fight you. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. And I guess I'm not going to talk about this anymore. And that's how it ended. Happy says she has 60% forgiven her. Whatever that means. Titi and her therapist. This scene was really sad, man. Titi has been through a lot. So Titi is Happy's daughter. So the therapist came in and said, how's your relationship with your mom? She said, it's better. Now when she buys stuff for the other girls, she also buys it for me. Like, now things are equal. And I was like, God damn. That girl is what, 15, 16? So for 15 years, you've been treated like trash. It's sad. And then she asked, how's your relationship with your sister? And she's like, my sister still shows me an attitude. And the therapist asked, how do you respond? She said, I'm those kind of people. What you show me is what you get. You give me an attitude, I'll give you an attitude. Which is fine. I don't see any problem with that. You can't be the bigger person every single time. So I get that. I had something. Titi. Then the therapist asked, why is there like a distance between you and your sister? And she said it's because how I was raised. So I was really treated horrible. So I'm guessing the sisters, the father loved the sister because this is my child, this is my biological daughter. So there's a preference that she got. And I think she made Titi feel less than. She's a child, but she's learned it and it's stuck. Unfortunately, your dad has passed away. So now you can treat your bigger sister like that anymore. Because your dad is not there to tell you, it's okay, no. And your mom is also going to therapy, so even your mom is stopping you from treating your big sister like that. And then Titi went ahead to say, the first time that the stepdad hit Happy, he also hit Titi because Titi was trying to protect her mom. Even the therapist, he hit you? Like, yes, he hit me. Why? He said that he never showed that he cared for me, and it was never a secret. He said that he doesn't care for me and that I will ruin their marriage. And when he said that, my mother, Happy, would always kick her out of the house and she would go to her granny's. And I felt so sad for that girl. Every time that man would come and be like pissed off or something, this child of yours is going to ruin our marriage. Happy would always kick Titi out. Titi in the confessional, yeah, she would kick me out, and then I would go to my granny, and my granny would talk to her, and then she said, no, my granny wouldn't talk to her. She would come back, and Titi was like, at least she came back for me. Titi was crying. Titi was crying. Titi was sad. I felt so sad for her, and I'm not saying like the physical abuse that she got was okay, but I'm hoping like that's all that happened. I know there was also mental abuse. I just hope, like, this is a girl and this is your stepdad. I really hope nothing else happened. I really hope nothing else happened, because I would be so sad, because she said that she still respects him. She was the first person to call him dad. So even now, she doesn't call him by his name. She still respects him and calls him dad. I wouldn't. F that man, I would not. I would not. The therapist asked, who do you think do you blame yourself? She said that there's a point in life she used to blame herself, look down on herself. Like, she used to feel like garbage. But she said now she no longer feels like that. She knows it wasn't her fault. She said that she has to forgive her mother, because she felt like her mother chose a stranger over her, which is true. Like right now, she's chosen Titi's dad over these two other girls. Now imagine if Titi's dad starts to treat these two other girls the way the stepdad treated Titi. You think Happy's gonna stop it? No. So then, you're gonna ruin my marriage, please. Behave. So it was sad. That scene was really sad. I really pray for healing for Titi, because she has been through a lot. I don't even know if therapy can help her. She has so much anger, and the therapist said that at some point you have to forgive your stepdad. As a therapist, I get it. She has to say that, but do you really have to forgive someone? Do you really, like? Can't I just be like, that man was horrible to me, I want nothing to do with that man, I never want to remember that? Can I just be like that? But people say forgiveness is not for that person, it's for you and for your heart. But what if my heart is okay, it's being angry at this man? But I guess Titi has to. Titi has a really good heart. Titi does have a good heart. The fact that she says she has to forgive herself and she has to forgive her mother, and that she still respects her stepdad even though he was a creep to her. Yeah, Titi has a good heart, to be honest. That scene was really, really sad. Mrs. Mops and Happy. I didn't even want to see Happy after seeing what Titi was talking about. Mrs. Mops and Happy. Mrs. Mops took Happy to a gun range. They went to shoot some guns. Mrs. Mops was lying, saying that this is the first time she was shooting a gun. The way she was shooting that gun, she's done it before. Mrs. Mops, Happy on the other hand, she took one shot. She almost turned around. She actually turned around. She almost shot Mrs. Mops. Sure, she would have killed Mrs. Mops. It would have trended. It would have trended. She almost killed Mrs. Mops. The guy that's shooting it is like, whoa, chill, you okay. They did their shots, that's it, and then they went to the park and they started to talk. They started to talk about Ratile. Mrs. Mops is also on Happy's side. They're not seeing where Ratile is coming from, so I'm guessing they'll all gang up on Ratile. Yeah? Like Karen Hugo from Potomac says, it's gonna be a gang bang. It's gonna be a gang bang. I don't know why even Mrs. Mops doesn't get where Ratile is coming from. Because now Happy's like, just because you have 13 followers and I have more followers than you think I'm not going to trend? I have over 1,000 TikTok followers. Like, that's what Ratile is saying. Why is it with you this is a topic? Like, with Happy, it's, I have a black card and I trend. I have a lot of followers and I have a black card. That's the thing with Happy. Like, she's a child and you're not. You're a grown-ass woman. And they left that topic and they started talking about Miss Manshi and Omule. Again, Mrs. Mops lying. I didn't understand what their beef was. I'm going to talk to Miss Manshi and find out what... You were there. You saw what happened. And you were left with Omule. I'm pretty sure Omule talked to you about it. So you saying, I don't know what happened, you're lying. Anyway, Mrs. Mops says that she's going to talk to Miss Manshi. She just felt that Miss Manshi was rude to leave. Happy said Omule was the host. Omule should have acted like a host. She should not have been offended. She should have told Mrs. Miss Manshi about this another day, not at the event. Mrs. Mops disagrees. But Mrs. Mops left saying that she'll go talk to Miss Manshi. That was that scene, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't want to talk to I didn't want to see Happy. After seeing that with Titi, I really did not feel like seeing Happy. Happy said that she brought Ratile into this circle of group of ladies, and she decides to talk about her. First of all, Happy, you didn't bring Ratile into this. You guys are not friends. They just had to find someone to bring her onto the show, and then it happened to be you. But you guys are not friends. So stop acting like you're the one who brought her in. You two are not friends. Mrs. Mops goes to visit Miss Manshi. Miss Manshi's outside is really nice. They were both looking nice. Like, Miss Manshi is really a beautiful woman, to be honest. As soon as they sit down, they didn't even. I think they edited it that way. They did. The edit was that way. Mrs. Mops was like straight to it. Listen, why did you leave? I felt like it was very rude for you to leave my event just like that without talking to me. And then the second thing, I don't understand the beef between. I completely missed the argument between you and Omule. Even in the confessional, Miss Manshi said, I don't like liars, because you're lying. Miss Mops is lying, pretending like she doesn't know what they were beefing about. Anyway, Miss Manshi explained herself. She's like, listen, when Omule was asking Happy about the trending thing, and when she said, you're a fine one to talk, because she knows you also love trending. And when she told me, relax yourself, I was offended by that. First of all, Miss Manshi, you shouldn't have talked. If you're going to be offended by relax yourself, then don't say nothing. Don't say anything. If you're going to be offended by someone telling you relax yourself. But Miss Manshi also said, I felt bad that as my friend, I'm leaving your event, and you can see that I'm hurt and I'm angry. You don't follow up to check on me. You don't come to the garage and look at me and check on me. I'm also like that. If I was at your place, or if we are at an event that you're hosting, and you see that I've left angry or something has just irritated me, and you don't come and check on me like that, are you good? Are you okay? I also get pissed. I also get pissed at my friends because of that. Yes, I'm a needy friend. I get pissed. Because I will also follow in like, yo, you good, unless you've done something to me. But if someone did something to you, or I've seen something has irritated you, I'll come check up on you. Like, you're good, you're going home, are you good? Are you sure you don't want to come back? That's what so I got what Miss Manshi was telling Mrs. Mops. Mrs. Mops was like, I was conflicted. I didn't know whether to leave this event that I'm hosting, or just come visit you, or just come look, check if you're okay. I don't know why Miss Manshi gives Mrs. Mops like a pass like that, because she was like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, friend, I didn't think of it like that. Anyway, Miss Manshi is the one who ended up apologizing. She did. So Miss Manshi and Ratile went, because they left together that night. At the parking, they started talking, and Ratile was pissed, and she was like, I'm really pissed off at Happy. And Miss Manshi was like, Happy's cool, babes. Like, she's going through a lot. Don't be angry at her. While she was talking, there was a fly that was bugging Mrs. Mops. And then she's like, oh, there's a fly. Miss Manshi said, it's Ratile. That was funny. And she was like, yeah, anyway, Ratile was, Mrs. Manshi was like, yeah, I just told Ratile, Happy's going through a lot, so just don't fight with Happy. And then they started giving each other compliments. Mrs. Mops is telling Miss Manshi, you're a sex bomb, you're cute, you're beautiful. And Miss Manchi's like, you're also cute, you're a great mom, you're fun, you're entertaining, and all this. And then Miss Manchi was like, but there's something I don't like about you. When you're angry, you don't talk. Like, you just have this face. It's a resting bitch face. But she does have that face. When she's mad, she just looks at you. Mrs. Mops. And then Mrs. Mops says, yes, sometimes I am closed off. And she was like, at the spa, that's like that a few episodes ago, at the spa, that's how you are with me. And Mrs. Mops was like, it's because you talk, you're like a chihuahua. Then she called Miss Manshi a chihuahua. And Miss Manshi was like, that's very rude. Why are you calling me a chihuahua? But again, Miss Manchi's not going hard when it comes to Mrs. Mom. She's like, why are you calling me a chihuahua? That's so rude, friend. That's so rude. Mrs. Mom is like, yeah, you're like a chihuahua, you talk. And Mrs. Mom, you're a fine one to talk. Because you also talk a lot, okay? You also talk a lot. And then Miss Manchi was like, okay, if you feel some type of way about something, it's better you talk it out instead of just giving me that face. So have I done anything to irritate you or something like that? And she's like, yes, that day you did something to irritate me, but so do you want to share it with me? Mrs. Mom says that she doesn't have to share everything. You don't share nothing. You don't really share anything. So I don't know why you say I don't have to share everything. You really don't share anything. Mrs. Mob said, okay, I'll try be a better friend and I'll try communicate. That was really their scene. There wasn't much with that scene. Happy comes home. The next scene is Happy comes home from work and she's talking to Auntie Shalom. And she's just asking Auntie Shalom, how have you been? How's it been since my husband passed away? You know, he was the father of the house. Auntie Shalom was like, we really loved him. And like, you probably saw him hitting Titi and also hitting Happy, but okay, you love him, it's okay. He paid you, so you have to say that you really loved him. He was a good man to you. And then Auntie Shalom started to talk about a dream that she had, that she dreamt that Happy was dead. Happy said that she also Auntie Shalom also dreamt her husband dying, so Happy's husband dying. So when she dreams, she's scared of that. I'm also scared of people who dream about death, because some of them do come true, and you're like, God, do not dream about me. So Happy was really emotional about that, because she's like, listen, my kids only have me. I'm the only surviving parent. No one else is going to take care of them the way I take care of them. So yeah, it was emotional for her. That was really that scene. It wasn't much. Mrs. Mobs and her son Kumo, they went quad biking. This is what Mrs. Mobs will give you. If you think Mrs. Mobs is going to give you anything else, this is it. Those cute scenes with her children. They went quad biking. It seemed like fun. This one, Mrs. Mobs didn't lie. It was her first time to ride a quad bike. Because she kept driving into the bushes, or just riding into the bushes. And then after she finished, she's like, how did I do? Her son was like, you kept going into the bushes for no reason, so you didn't do well. And where did you get my competitive? No, she asked Kumo, you're very competitive. Where did you get it? And Kumo was like, my dad. Like me. And then Kumo was like, if you are competitive, you will not be ending up in the bushes. They talked about school, talked about girlfriends. Kumo was like, stop it, mom. And then there's a point Mrs. Mobs was like, listen, I have your password. And the boy said, I changed it. She switched into a mom immediately. Listen, we talked about this. You don't change your password. And unless I'm the one who's told you to change it, you do not change your password. That was the agreement. You have a phone, but I also have a password to your phone. She changed it to a mom completely. And Kumo was like, I didn't change it, mom, I didn't change it. Give me your phone. It's in the car. And then she said, you're lucky. If it was here and you changed, I would have taken your phone. Or go get your phone. And then I think Kumo said, you probably ride into the bushes. You can't even catch me. It was fun. But I loved when she switched into mom mode immediately when it came to the phone and the password. Because she said right now, every child has a phone. This age, every child has a phone. So the best thing is just to check what your son is doing or what your daughter is doing online. It was a cute scene. And that's all Mrs. Muff is going to be giving you people. The next scene was Miss Manchi, Nunurai, and Ratile. So Miss Manchi had invited Nunurai to her warehouse to come check out her shapewear. And then Nunurai invited Ratile. And Miss Manchi was like, Nunurai invited Ratile somewhere she's not even wanted. Okay, so Miss Manchi said that Nunurai was interested in seeing the shapewear. And then Nunurai in the confession was like, I'm really not a shapewear kind of girl. And you're like, we know, Nunurai, we know your body is, you don't need to, like Miss Manchi. Miss Manchi needs to. I'm not saying Miss Manchi does have a nice body, but she still needs to, you know. When Miss Manchi was showing them the shapewear, Nura was like, "Oh, I love it," and then Ratile was like, "Oh, it's nice," which Miss Manchi was offended. Miss Manchi was like, "It's more than nice; it's high quality." In her confessionals, but her facial expressions when she was looking at Ratile at that moment where she said it's nice, you could just tell she was pissed. Now I'm wondering, what do you want her to say? Oh my God, it's amazing. No, she just has to act like, okay, it's good, it's really nice. She can't start saying it's good quality. She doesn't know nothing about shapewears. I just say it's nice. After that, they went and sat down, and they were having, I think it was whiskey. Yeah, I think it was whiskey. So they were having a bottle of whiskey and some snacks. And Ratile talked about how she met with Happy, and she was just telling her about the cloud chasing thing. So Miss Manchi asked, how are you involved? And then Ratile said, I told Mrs. Mobs that I think Happy cloud chases. And again, they missed the point completely. Because now Miss Manchi is like, what does that have to do with you? And she's like, listen, I don't want a friend to just tell me something and then it's a secret and then the next time it's trending. And she even said, even the wedding thing, when you guys came to the Shisanyama, I knew and Mrs. Mops knew. And then Nunurai said, but Mrs. Mops didn't know. She said she did. I met with Mrs. Mops. She already knew. I wish Mrs. Nunurai brings that up. You already knew about the wedding, but when we told you, you act like you didn't know anything. I really hope she brings it up. Miss Manchi. Happy has gone through a lot. This is one person. She's been through a lot. Can you just be a little bit considerate? Ratile is not saying that what Happy has gone through is nothing. She's not saying that's nothing. Ratile is just saying that's not the, I've already explained this. Like, that's not the kind of friends I have. My friends are not like that. My friends are not, we're here talking and then the next thing, whatever we talked about, it's trending. That's not the kind of friends I have. Miss Manchi is like, oh, so you just don't want friends who have problems. They're completely missing the point. And then I think Ratile and Miss Manchi start getting to it about why are you, so Ratile is like, why are you judging how I'm reacting? Because at some point, Miss Manchi is calling Ratile, I think that's classes. It's like you want your friends to be on a certain level. No, she wants a friend that if they tell them a secret, it's a secret. It won't be trending. That's it. Nothing else. It's nothing about problems. It's nothing about class. It's nothing about levels. That's what you're thinking about Ratile. That's your personal opinion about Ratile. Because Ratile is telling you very clear what she thinks. Because you're now saying, oh, I prefer you just tell me this is your problem. No, I'm not happy with this and this. But she is telling you she's not happy about it. You're the one who's not listening to her. You can't say that she has to be considerate to Happy. What has she done that is not considerate? Just telling Happy, I've never had a friend that I tell a secret or comes tells me a secret and the next thing is trending. They were completely missing the point. I don't know how it got to Ratile asking her, what about your friendships? Because you're judging me and my friendship. What about your friendships? What about that kefibu? I think Ratile at this point, you should just let it go. She doesn't want to talk about it. This girl is not in this group of friends, circle, whatever. So she's not filming with you guys. Don't bring it up. If she was filming, I get it. But she's not filming. And clearly, Miss Manchi doesn't want to talk about this lady. So don't bring it up again. They were still going back and forth, and then Ratile shut it down by asking Nunurai, so what happened after we left? And Nunurai talked about the comment Omule made. Both Ratile and Miss Manchi were not happy about it. They really were not happy about it. Ratile said that Nunurai was discriminated. So that's the best word to use. She was discriminated. That was wrong. And then Miss Manchi came back to the whole friendship thing. Like, she didn't like how she was told to relax yourself, that we're adults, there's a way to talk. We don't have to talk with throwing jabs. Miss Manchi, so you're acting like you don't throw jabs, right? So you're very mature that you don't throw jabs. Because you've thrown jabs at Ratile 24/7. Even the way you're talking to Ratile right now. I'm sorry, I was on Ratile's side. I wasn't on Miss Manchi's side. Like if we have something, we can talk about it like adults. We don't have to throw jabs at each other. So my friendship, okay, the friendship with her that I don't know, Kefi Boo or whatever. It's even Rice said she's not filming with us. I'm paraphrasing. She's not filming with us, so she doesn't have to. You can't keep asking about it. Yes, there is a story there, but it's not that dramatic that you keep asking about it. But again, I get why Ratile is asking, because remember Miss Manchi started retelling a story about that friend of Ratile at the wine event. And Ratile was like, you're not telling the story right. So Miss Manchi said, you could have told me that I retold your story wrong. She already did. She did tell you. You just don't want to listen. But she did tell you. I don't think Miss Manchi and Ratile will be friends. Actually, it can actually go two ways. They can be friends and they cannot be friends. They can be very good friends, because it's always, sometimes it starts out rocky. So they can be very good friends, or they can go the other way. But for me, I'm on Ratile's side. This episode, I was really more on Ratile's side, except the keep questioning Miss Manchi about that friendship. Let it go. Let them out go. That's it for my review for this week. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.